This is the Capital Wealth Planning monthly update for December 2022 with Kevin Simpson. Kevin, tell us, what are your thoughts on the markets today?
With regards to the market, the first thing I'm thinking about today is the breathtaking beauty and speed of science. What would have taken years or decades to accomplish, we can now do in a matter of months, if not weeks. Science is affecting the markets because it's so advanced. It's almost one step ahead. Like, how lucky are we? Science is keeping us ahead of the game. And smart money literally is looking past it. They're not thinking about stay-at-home stocks like Peloton, DoorDash, or Zoom. Not to say that they're bad companies. And everything is attuned to what's going to happen next week with the Federal Reserve meeting. Increasing the pace of taper is the theme. I think it's going to happen. I think it's going to have an impact a little bit on the markets, but more than anything, the economy can handle it. There's enough liquidity in this market that we can double the pace of the taper, which I think will happen, and that we can have higher interest rates after that. You know, the jobs report last month that came in very weak, much weaker than expected, but it's not enough to derail the Fed. And we do have CPI coming out on Friday, and I think that's going to be like a crescendo number. I think CPI last month was the highest we'd seen in 30 years, for 3 decades. And it could be even higher this month. But to the Fed's transitory point, I know they've taken that word out of the equation, this rate may very well be the high point of the inflationary numbers. Supply chains are slowly going to continue to improve. Inventories are improving. And if we see inflation kind of dial back a little bit, then it lends itself to that thesis that we can handle a taper and the economy can handle higher interest rates. So do we want to see it double? Do we want to see the free money go away? Do we want to see higher rates? Probably not. But think about it. If we have a more hawkish Fed, if we have a faster taper, if we're getting to higher interest rates sooner, the one common theme we can be aware of and we need to prepare for is volatility. And I'm still of the camp that we'll see 2 rate increases next quarter. But think about it. Longer term, markets can handle it. If we have, 5, 6 rate hikes over the next few years, coming off of a zero base, we're still talking about 2.25% to 2.5% Fed funds rate. And literally, for relative purposes, that's still zero, practically. So we've seen tightening before. It's not a new story. When I got in this business in 1992, I thought I was a great, brilliant money manager from 92 to 95. The Fed the Fed tightened in 95, and we saw a correction. It didn't last long. It didn't change the bull market. It taught me I wasn't nearly as smart as I thought I was. And the Fed tightened again in 2000, 2007, 2018. In every instance, the trade that worked was the value trade, the quality trade. And that's what we sort of have to think about now. The herd's still talking about speculation and risky business. The fast money crowd, which is the smart money crowd, you need to be thinking about things differently, which is what you guys do. Valuations matter. From 2022 and beyond, we need to think about things in what will do well in a rising interest rate environment. Some sectors are like financials, energies, healthcare, technology. Those are the sectors you need to put your money to work in. Dialing it down specifically, we're putting money to work. From a financial perspective, it's a rising interest rate environment. You want to check off that box. Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan. Energy, this isn't going away. Chevron, Marathon Petroleum, 2 names that we own. You want to make sure they've got valuations, a lot of, speculation in the energy space, but still it's a place to put money moving forward. Technology, I know people say with higher rates, you're going to see less of an impact with growth stocks. I don't buy it. I think people will always pay up for technology. And again, we're sticking with quality. We own Apple, we own Microsoft, best of breed companies. We've recently added to Cisco, had pretty weak earnings. The stock pulled back. It's up 8% since then. Solid dividend, good name. I don't know, on the old school tech, maybe. As far as the science leading the game, being the name of the game, at least the theme of today's presentation, we're also looking at United Healthcare. More and more baby boomers every day heading into healthcare. Science is always one step ahead, so is healthcare. It's been a winner for a long time, and I think it's just the tip of the iceberg.
So, Kevin, you've had a couple of very interesting guests on the show here this quarter. Tell me, what are your thoughts? What are your takeaways from what you learned from your guests?
Jay, we were so lucky to get guests that are incredibly brilliant, just amazing people. I can't, pick just one. Thankfully, you didn't ask me, who were your top guests, because everyone just did such a wonderful favor to participate. I think we learned more about Bitcoin and blockchain than anything else because it's something that, I know nothing about. So maybe I know like this much now. Certainly, we're going to have somebody who really knows Bitcoin, blockchain, Ethereum in a week or so. I think Anthony Scaramucci is coming on, and there's no better person to educate us than he. So I'm really looking forward to having Anthony on next week.
How about your interview with Mark Fisher? He went really deep on his philosophy around risk management. Did you take anything in particular away from that?
I'm never the smartest guy in the room, but when you're with someone like Mark Fisher, a legend on Wall Street, it's just so humbling to see how the best do it. And when you think about managing risk, that's one thing that I do pride myself on, in a small sense, of trying to take away a little bit of risk management. It goes back to Benjamin Graham saying the best portfolio managers, and there's no better trader than Mark Fisher, not even close. The best portfolio managers are those that manage risk and volatility. And if you can manage the downside, the upside will always take care of itself.
And about 6 weeks ago, we had an opportunity to interview Dan Nathan and Guy Adami. I mean, they're full of energy, full of fantastic ideas and thoughts on the markets that I went back and revisited here recently. They all held true. Those guys are incredibly smart as well. Did you have any particular takeaways from that interview?
Yeah, whenever a guy tells a joke, sometimes I got to look it up in the encyclopedia, Wikipedia, watch it again 3 or 4 times before I finally get it. But those guys know their stuff. They don't look just at the markets. They look at interest rates. They look at trading thematics, risk reversal. Their podcast is one of the best out there. Those guys are sharp as a tack. And again, where do we get these A+ guests? Don't forget Jackie DeAngelis. I mean, there's nobody better than her.
Yeah, Jackie came on and she gave some great context on being a reporter in foreign lands during times of distress. And it was a really great interview. If you'd like to see past episodes of The Kevin Simpson Show, please visit kevinsimpsonshow.com. That is kevinsimpsonshow.com. Kevin, I want to wrap up with this. You have a new book coming out entitled Walk Towards Wealth. Tell us, where are you in the process and when can we expect a launch?
Well, Jay, the book's going to come out on January 11th. We're very excited. I hope all of the folks watching will buy a hard copy or 10. Getting on a book bestseller list is a near impossibility, especially when you're a first-time author writing about investment books. It's not like a John Grisham novel or Stephen King story, but I would buy it. I mean, I think it's a good book. I think it's very helpful. It talks about our themes of creating income, long-term investments, cash flow through dividends, and option premiums through covered call writing, trying to do it in a colloquial way that makes it, sometimes a boring subject very interesting. It is available for pre-order right now on an ebook. I believe that's on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and whatever, Apple books under Walk Towards Wealth by Kevin Simpson.
Awesome. Looking forward to reading that when it comes out. For folks new to the show, please visit CWPnewsletter.com and sign up for Kevin's Monday Morning Observations. It's one of the top newsletters out there for financial advisors. And to learn more about capital wealth planning, please visit capitalwealthplanning.com.
Thanks, Jay.